I'd like to call the Tuesday, October 1st, 2024 Papillion City Council meeting to order. Ms. Brown, would you please take the roll?
Sunday, Mumgard, Gaines, Glover, Fanslaw, Klug, Stube, Engberg.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. And do we have an affidavit of publication on file?
We do.
The current copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted in the back of the council's chambers. Ms. Powers, Administrator's report, please.
Thank you. Just a quick one tonight. A huge congratulations to Kira Montiel, who's the president of the Mayor's Youth Council. She was the winner of the Serve Nebraska's Award for Youth Volunteer Leadership. And for those that are not aware, this is a statewide recognition. Kira has led the Youth Council in numerous community service projects and started new projects in her time as president. So again, congratulations, Kira. And then along those lines, speaking of the Youth Council, I do want to extend a huge thank you to the Mayor's Youth Council for hosting the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration on October 6th. It was a great family event. I know my kids really enjoyed it, so thank you. And then just a couple of other things, community events. The Friday Night Bites this year is coming up. It is this Friday, which is October 18th, and it's at the Landing, which is from 5 to 8 p.m. Then, like other years, it'll have the food trucks. There'll also be yard games and community activities, and a huge hit is always the diving for the pumpkins in the pool, and all ages are welcome. And then finally, there's a new location for this year's Halloween Safe Night. It'll be at the Papillion Landing Field House this year, and if you remember in the past, it was always at South High School, so it is moving. It's on October 28th, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m. with a costume contest at 7 p.m. And we do want to recognize our community partners on that. The Mayor's Youth Council plays a huge role, along with the Titans High School students, the Key Club, Papillion Recreation, and various city staff. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Councilman Gaines. Second by Councilman Glover. Any proponents or opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Next is item F1, Resolution R240177, a resolution to approve the First Amendment to the Southern Point Subdivision Agreement. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R240177? Motion by Councilman Stube. Second by Councilman Fanslaw. Any proponents? Opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. F2, Resolution R240180, a resolution to approve the intent to bond for the Papillion Police Department Renovation Expansion Project. There's a motion to approve Resolution R240180. Motion by Councilman Engberg. Second by Councilman Glover. Any proponents or opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. The next two items are related. F3, Resolution R240181, a resolution to approve the Second Amendment to the lease agreement with Papillion Volunteer Fire Department, Inc. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R240181? Motion by Mr. Mumgard. Second by Mr. Stube. Any proponents? You guys want to share what you're doing? We got a little bit of time. Do a commercial. It's an important relationship, so I think it's nice that people get to hear and know.
For the last few years, we have had a mobility library where we have, actually I should introduce myself. I'm Steve Schmitz. I am currently the Secretary-Treasurer of Papillion Volunteer Fire Department, Inc. For the last few years, we have had what's called the Mobility Library. That's where, free of charge, we lend medical equipment such as wheelchairs, crutches, canes, walkers, shower chairs to anyone who asks. Sometimes we deliver, but recently we have been noticing that the shed is full. There's currently a shed up at the Papillion Volunteer Fire Department Museum, and it is clear full of wheelchairs, canes, stuff like that. We don't have the room to take the donations to redistribute. So we are working on putting a shed in on the, is it north side? Pardon? North side of the building? Yes, north side of the hall. Standard footings, paved floor, stuff like that. Our intent is to have it painted the same color as the building currently is, as close to matching shingles as we can come up with. And that would give us the additional room for
Appreciate what you're
we
doing.
need.
Mr. Mumgarden.
Okay, I represent the people of Terra Hills, and I live up there, and I can tell you that neighborhood considers you part of the neighborhood, and you're one of our neighbors.
Thank you.
And then secondly, that the mobility library project you have is receiving great praise. I've ran into 2 or 3 people who've used that. And have been very thankful. You know, they'll have a temporary mobility issue, and they've been able to get what they need from you, and it's a great expression of like Papillion feels like home. You take care of your neighbor. Okay, I've talked to several people up in the neighborhood, and we have no problem with the shed that you want to put in there, and I fully support it. But I ask of 2 things. One, after the shed is installed, could either you or the city, somebody needs to put landscaping on the north side of the shed, principally some bushes or something.
Okay.
You know, just to block it off from the appearance, the people up the hill there have to sit there and look at it. So would appreciate that. And I don't know who will do that, but I'll just leave it that it needs to be done.
We will actually work with the garden club, Jackie. We will work with the garden club, and we will come up with some sort of nice looking landscaping that we can put back there, some bushes and some other plantings.
Well, I think Jackie has done a wonderful job the last few summers with the flowers out in front. You know, that's the entrance to our neighborhood, and you make it look really good. So I fully trust that you can do that. And then secondly, would you either get a shed that matches the building or paint the shed to match the building? That was the request of a couple people up there, is don't stick a white shed on the side, you know, at the north side of that that brown building. You know, basically when you put up the white fire truck garage, I heard some comments of, my gosh, why couldn't you make it match? But we understand why you did that. But the shed on the north side of the building needs to match the building as much as possible.
Yeah, I will assure you that if it's not immediately white, it will be white at the earliest painting time that we can come up with.
No, don't make it white. Make
Right.
it brown or something, please. If you make it white, I'm going to hear from my neighbors, please. And that's it. So otherwise, I support you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Do we have any other proponents or opponents? Council discussion? Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Thanks again for doing the mobility. That has been a great service. I've heard the same thing from a number of people, so thanks for that. Related item F4, Resolution R240183, a resolution to approve a construction proposal agreement with the Papillion Volunteer Fire Department, Inc. to construct a concrete pad and shed structure and related appurtenances on property leased from the city located at 1001 Limerick Road for storage of medical and other equipment. Is there a motion to approve Resolution R240183? Motion by Councilman Mumgarden, second by Councilman Sunday. Any proponents, opponents? Council discussion. Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Fairly brief agenda tonight. That's all the regular agenda items. Public Safety Committee did meet, but I don't think there was a quorum. So we'll get an update on that later. Any comments from the floor? Council comments? Last couple of weeks, number of us, Councilman Mumgard, Ms. Powers, Ms. Hutter, Mr. Sturzman, myself, went to League of Municipalities Fall Conference. You have a handout, a two-page handout at your table. The process that the League of Municipalities uses to kind of put its legislative package together is they've got two committees, a small city community and a large city community, and any city can propose ideas, and then it goes to the appropriate committee, it gets discussed and voted on. If it gets approved, then it goes to a combined committee of the league, and then they discuss it again. And then if whatever comes out of that gets approved, then it goes to the executive board of the league. And what they end up providing then is the legislative package for the league for the next biannual legislative session. We historically have not submitted a lot of ideas, but partially because of the special session, we started thinking a lot about what's the impact to us and other things. So we actually submitted 7 ideas, and just so you're aware of what those are, that's what that handout is. And all 7 of them, well, I think 6 of the 7 did get approved by the combined committee, and so it will be part of the package that's going to the executive board to be discussed. Don't have high hopes that any of them will probably pass, but at least it starts showing to the legislature what's important to the cities and maybe opens up some discussion, gets us to the table. So if you have any questions on any of those, I'd be real happy to discuss those. But other than that, that's just an update on the league's fall conference. And then Ms. Powers did mention that the Youth Council had the Hispanic Heritage Month. That's their 3rd annual one that's been attended very well, so appreciate what they're doing. And then I think those are the main items. Any other council discussion or questions? Mr. Mumgard.
I just wanted to mention something that one of the sessions I attended down at the league conference. This was a session put on by a state-wide organization that pushes bike trails and development of transportation by bikes. Very fascinating what they presented, and if you get a chance to look at the material, and you might take a look at it. I sat there, I went into it thinking, okay, this is going to be an hour. I'll put in my time. I was quickly caught up with, my gosh, this is fascinating, how they promote and, put together bike trails using several cities as examples. And I thought, those examples that they gave, you could apply those to Papillion, that we can do better. Mark was there, and so I was impressed, and I think we ought to pay attention to it and follow up on some of the ideas that they provided.
And at the same time, while we could do better, I think we're actually leading in a lot of areas. I can't remember where it was, but there was a recent recognition about how good we've been doing on the connectivity and the bike trails and how much they're being used. So appreciate that, but you're right. We can always be doing more on that. Any other council discussion? Motion to adjourn? Motion by Councilman Glover, second by Councilman Gaines. Please vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
We are adjourned.